Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Port Harcourt, there lived a lovely couple, Seun and Busayo. They had met years ago in church back in Osun State, where they were both devoted Christians and active workers in their church. Their love blossomed within the warmth of their shared faith, and it wasn't long before they were married. 4 years into their marriage, Seun landed a lucrative job in an oil company in Port Harcourt, prompting the family to relocate. One Saturday morning, Busayo said to her husband, "We need to find a good church around here. Our church in Osun doesn't have a branch in Port Harcourt." "No problem," Seun replied with a smile. "I'll be at work tomorrow. Maybe you can take some time to look around and find a place we can all attend." Busayo nodded, really excited at the thought of joining a new church community. Seun and Busayo had two adorable 4-year-old twins, Olu and Tolu, who brought immeasurable joy to their lives. Though Seun's demanding job often kept him away from home, he always made an effort to make up for lost time with his family. Busayo too was a God-fearing woman and devoted wife and mother, balancing her responsibilities with grace. Their marriage was a testament to mutual respect, laughter, and unwavering love. Together, they built a home filled with warmth and kindness, steadily working toward their dreams. However, months after settling into Port Harcourt, things began to change. Ayo found the church that quickly became her spiritual home. And within this church was a man who would soon alter the dynamics of their happy marriage, Pastor Jide. At first, Seun attended Ayo's new church whenever his work schedule allowed him. He admired Pastor Jide's charisma and his captivating sermons, which often left the congregation hanging on his every word. But soon, Seun noticed a shift in Ayo's behavior. She began holding Pastor Jide's opinions in highest regard, sometimes even above Seun's. One evening, Seun returned home late in the evening to find Olu and Tolu crying in the living room. "What's wrong, my babies?" he asked, alarmed. "Daddy, my tummy is paining me. We've not eaten since morning. We are hungry," Olu said, tears streaming down his cheek. She turned to Ayo, who was seated with her Bible open. "Ayo, why haven't the children eaten?" he asked, struggling to keep his voice calm. "Darling," Ayo replied with a serene smile, "Pastor Jide said we should fast this week for spiritual elevation." "Fast? Even the children?" Seun's voice rose. "They're just 4, Ayo. I sent you a text now. You're also supposed to fast," she said, her tone defensive. "Didn't you see it?" Without another word, Seun marched into the kitchen, quickly preparing a meal for his children. Later that evening, as they lay in bed, he brought up the subject again. "Ayo, please, don't starve the kids next time in the name of fasting," he said gently. "They are too young for that. And you too, my love. You've been looking so tired and skinny lately. Please, be eating well." Ayo turned to him, her face a mix of irritation and conviction. "Sometimes you just talk like you don't understand spiritual things." Seun, "Pastor Jide says fasting is the key to unlocking our destiny. I'm standing in the gap for both of us here. "Our destiny also needs good health, Ayo," Seun replied softly, placing a kiss on her forehead. "Good night, my dear." Ayo's involvement in church deepened with each passing week. She attended every program without fail. Fire nights, miracle service, covenant service, no matter the day and time. Before long, she signed up for leadership training and completed workers training, eventually becoming a dedicated church worker. Pastor Jide, the charismatic and autocratic leader of the congregation, often reminded the workers, "Obedience to me is obedience to God. Disobedience brings God's wrath." Ayo revered Pastor Jide as a spiritual guide, seeking his counsel on every matter, even within her marriage. Gradually, his words began to hold more weight in her life than those of her husband Sheun. One evening, as Ayo prepared for yet another church meeting, Sheun approached her, his voice calm but filled with concern. Ayo, you're spending too much time at church, he said. Even the kids have been complaining that Mama Bisi, our neighbor, spends more time with them than you do. This isn't right though. Ayo barely looked up as she adjusted her scarf. Sheun, sacrifices like this are necessary for divine blessings. Pastor Jide says commitments like mine moves mountains. I'm not asking you to stop going to Pastor Jide's church, Sheun replied, his tone firmer now. But you need to balance things. Your family needs you too. We need you. But Ayo, now fully immersed in Pastor Jide's teachings, dismissed his concerns. She believes Sheun lacked the spiritual insight to understand her divine journey. The church was alive with favor one morning during the fire festival program. Prayers thundered across the hall and hands stretched to the heavens. Midway through the service, a woman collapsed to the ground, speaking in tongues. The congregation fell silent as she began to prophesy. "There is a woman here," she declared, her voice echoing through the hall. "You have twin babies and recently relocated to Port Harcourt. The Lord says your husband is a hindrance to your divine calling. You must leave him. You must leave him to fulfill God's purpose. That marriage is a cage." Ayo froze in her seat. The prophecy pierced her like a spear directed just at her. "Is it me?" she asked herself. After the service, she sought out Pastor Jide, her hands trembling. "Daddy," she began, her voice faltering, "could that prophecy have been for me?" Pastor Jide placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. "The Lord's message is clear, Sister Ayo. Seek him in prayer, and he will confirm his will." At home, the prophecy weighed heavily on her mind. Her marriage a cage? It didn't make sense. She was kind, loving, and always supportive. He was the best thing that happened to her after Christ. Yet, the prophecy lingered in her thoughts like an unwelcome guest. Pastor Jide's words echoed, "Seek him in prayer, and he will reveal the truth." Ayo devoted that week to fasting and praying for clarity. One day, she returned to Pastor Jide, her face lined with exhaustion. "Daddy, I've been praying about the prophecy. My husband isn't perfect, but he's a good man. I don't feel caged at all. I know he doesn't pray as much as I would like, but he's always been there for me." Pastor Jide smiled knowingly, resting his hand on her shoulder. "Well, Sister Ayo, I will pray with you this time. You know, sometimes the truth requires divine revelation," he said, his voice full of confidence. "There is God's permissive will and there's God's perfect will. Let's fast for 7 days and meet again on Tuesday. You must ask God for his perfect will." The following days were tense. Ayo became withdrawn, lost in thought, and distant from her family. She also avoided Sheun. Sheun noticed the change. One evening, as he tried to make a conversation with her, Ayo in her usual way dismissed him. As she sat up to walk away, Sheun decided to confront her. "Ayo, what's wrong? You've been so quiet lately, always on your own. Even when I try to talk to you, you're just always dismissive. What is it?" "Nothing," she replied curtly, avoiding his gaze. Sheun moved closer. "Ayo, we're a team. If something is troubling you, let's face it together. You don't have to carry it alone. Ejo, let me carry this burden with you, my love." Her eyes flickered with uncertainty, but she quickly looked away. "It's not something you would understand, Sheun. I need God's direction, and this is between me and him. Okay, oh, if you say so. But from where I stand, all I see is you slipping away from me. Ayo said nothing, her silence speaking louder than words. Busayo rushed to the church, her heart pounding as she approached the reception area. It has been 2 agonizing weeks since the prophecy, and the words still echoed in her mind. She clung to the hope that Pastor Jide would provide clarity and ease her growing unrest. Because she had booked her session in advance, she was quickly ushered to his office, bypassing the crowd waiting area. Ah, Sister Busayo, Pastor Jide greeted warmly, motioning her to sit down. She settled into the chair, her neighbor's hands clasped tightly together. What I'm about to tell you, Sister Busayo, is as shocking to me as it will be to you, he began, his tone heavy with seriousness. I've prayed and sought confirmation multiple times, and the Lord keeps revealing the same message. He paused for dramatic effect, then leaned forward. Your marriage is a distraction. The Lord says your husband's lack of spiritual depth is holding you back from fulfilling your divine purpose. Busayo's heart sank. She had been hoping for reassurance, not this. But Pastor, she stammered, Shehu is a good man. He loves me and our children, and he's always been supportive. Pastor Jide sighed deeply, shaking his head. Love without spiritual alignment, my dear, is like a house built on sand. The Lord's purpose for your life is greater than any earthly attachment. He reached out, gently holding her hands. There's more, Sister Busayo. His voice softened, but his gaze bore into her eyes. The Lord revealed something astonishing to me. He said, you are my wife. Busayo froze, her breath catching in her throat. She stared at the pastor, her mind racing. But I'm married, she managed to say, her voice trembling. And I have children. How could that even be possible? The Lord's ways are not our ways, Pastor Jide replied, his tone patient but firm. You must seek clarity. Pray for a sign. I know my relationship with God, and I'll never say this if I wasn't sure. But you must also confirm it for yourself. Ask him to show you his perfect will. Busayo left the office with a heavier heart than when she had entered. As she walked to her car, she whispered a prayer under her breath. Lord, please confirm your servant's word. Just as she was about to open the car door, a familiar voice called out to her. She turned and recognized the woman who had given the prophecy during the service. Sister Busayo, the woman said urgently, her tone filled with conviction. You must leave your husband. If you don't, you will die. God is calling you to something greater. Missions, ministry. I saw you as a pastor's wife, standing on a pulpit, delivering people and performing miracles. You must obey his voice. The words left Busayo shaking, her mind clouded with confusion and fear. When Busayo returned home, her demeanor was different. She barely spoke to Sheyi or the children, spending most of her time locked in the bedroom, praying or reading her Bible. Household responsibilities became a distant memory as she immersed herself in spiritual activities. Sheyi took on the burden of cooking, cleaning, and caring for the kids without a word of complaint, but his patience was wearing thin. One evening, as Busayo sat on the bed deep in prayer, Sheyi walked in. Busayo, he said, his voice calm but firm. I'll be going offshore next week. I've hired a nanny to help you with the kids since you've been so distant. Her name is Amara. She's in the living room. Please go meet her and explain the children's routine. Busayo's head shot up, her eyes blazing with anger. A nanny? She spat, her voice rising. Oluwaseun, you brought another woman into my house? Are you trying to humiliate me? How dare you?
If you're enjoying this story, please take a moment to like and comment below. Your feedback means a lot to me. Your comments inspire me to keep creating more stories that will entertain, inspire, and delight you. And it's totally free.
Please like and comment on this video now. Thank you. Sheun frowned, confused by her outburst. Busayo, I brought her here to help, not to. Please don't! Busayo cut him off, her voice escalating. You unbelievers, so dirty, so unholy. You think you can ruin my life, but God forbid. I am done with this marriage, Sheun. Done! She had been thinking of the perfect way to live. Her several attempts at arguing with Sheyi had not yielded any result. That opportunity fits perfectly. The next morning, Ayo packed her bags. Sheun, woken by the rustles of the bags, called out to her. Busayo, what are you doing? Are you really serious that you're leaving? What have I done wrong? Who do you want to leave me with? I need time to find myself spiritually, she answered harshly. This place is too carnal for me. I can't cope here, she said, trying to walk out of the room, her bags in her hand. Sheun followed behind, confusion all over. Busayomi, Ejo, don't leave me, don't leave us now. She looked at him. Get behind me, Satan. I want to do God's work. And with that, she walked away, convinced she was obeying God's will, leaving Sheun stunned and speechless. Within days, Pastor Jide found her a modest yet comfortable apartment on the outskirts of Port Harcourt City. He lavished her with gifts, food, and attention, assuring her that she had made the right decision. God's perfect will is what will keep you, he said. One evening, as they sat down to have dinner, he said to Busayo, You're the chosen one. I will take care of you, my lovely wife. You will never lack anything in this world. Busayo felt a fleeting sense of peace as she nodded. However, something gnawed at her. Pastor Jide had also given her an unusual instruction. She was not to attend his church anymore. She was to change her SIM cards and reduce communication with friends. It's for your own good, he had explained when she questioned him. People will misunderstand. They won't see the divine purpose behind what we've done. It's best to keep things private. God will understand. Though she felt uneasy, Busayo obeyed. After all, hasn't she trusted him this far? After about 6 months, life in the apartment began to lose its luster. Pastor Jide's visit grew less frequent. His promises of undying devotion reduced to brief phone calls and hurried excuses. Busayo was always alone. She felt lonely. Soon, she discovered she was pregnant for him. When she informed him, Pastor Jide was surprisingly uneasy. Pregnant for me? We have to do something about that baby. I doubt God will be happy I brought a baby I wouldn't take care of to this wicked world. I can't get rid of this baby, Busayo shouted. Pastor Jide slapped her. Don't talk to me like that, woman. I am your husband and you must respect me. I have said that you get rid of that baby and that is final. Busayo stood stunned. She couldn't believe the man that just hit her was her revered Pastor Jide, the one whom she believed every word from his mouth. She lay on her couch crying as he stormed out of the house. One afternoon, while Busayo was returning from the small grocery store near her home, she saw a woman loitering outside the apartment building. The woman seemed familiar, but Busayo couldn't place her. Excuse me, Busayo said hesitantly as she approached. Are you looking for someone? The woman's head snapped up and her eyes filled with a mix of anger and pity. You look familiar. You are Busayo, right? Yes, she replied, confused. The woman let out a bitter laugh. I knew it. You fit the description given to me by Sister Angela perfectly. Who is Sister Angela? And how do I know you? Busayo asked, confusion in her eyes. Well, let me save you the stress. I am one of many Pastor Jide's wives. I was like you once, she said, looking at her. Convinced that I was special, that I was chosen. Did Pastor Jide tell you that your marriage was holding you back? That God had a greater plan for you? Busayo's blood ran cold. How do you know all that? Because he told me the same thing, the woman said, folding her arms. And I left my husband for him too. I live 2 blocks from here, in another apartment he rented for me. There are more of us, 5 that I know, all forbidden from attending his church or talking to any of his members. He doesn't want anyone to know what he's doing. Busayo staggered back, the weight of the woman's words crashing down on her. No, that's not possible. He would. Oh, it's possible, the woman interrupted, her voice sharp. Ask around. You will find the others soon enough. I am pregnant for him, Busayo screamed pathetically. Oh no, sorry about that. My husband has remarried. He doesn't want me again. Pastor Jide still pays my house rent. I threatened I will expose him if he fails to take care of me. I've been living off him. That man, he's evil. You need to see all the things he does. How long have you been with him? Busayo asked, tears calling in her eyes. 3 years. 3 years? And I know that he does the same thing to almost all the women in that church. Busayo spent the next few days in turmoil, unable to shake the woman's words. She began asking subtle questions around the neighborhood and piecing together a horrifying truth. The other women confirmed it. Pastor Jide had deceived each of them, using God's name to manipulate them into leaving their families. Each of them lived in rented apartments, isolated from the world and forbidden from attending his church or revealing their connection to him. He visited them occasionally, always with sweet words and promises. One day, when Pastor Jide came around, Busayo confronted him. How many of us are out there? She asked. Pastor Jide let out a cunning smile. More than a dozen. What? Busayo screamed in shock. I have wives all over the country. I don't like single women. They are a headache. I prefer married ones, he continued. How could you do this? She demanded, her voice shaking with fury and heartbreak. You said I was chosen. You said this was God's perfect will. Why would you lie in God's name? Pastor Jide didn't even flinch. Busayo, he said calmly, you were chosen, but so are others. God's plan is bigger than you or me. Don't let others' jealousy taint your journey. Don't give me that nonsense, she screamed. You lied to me. You lied to all of us. He sighed, his patience visibly wearing thin. You need to calm down. Stress isn't good for your baby. Busayo clenched her fist, her entire body trembling. I left my family for you. My children, my good husband. And now I'm trapped here. Oh, Jesus. Just like others. You are not trapped, he said coldly. You're exactly where God wants you to be. Stop questioning me, woman. Questioning me is questioning God. That night, as Busayo lay on bed, her mind raced with thoughts of escape. She knew she couldn't continue this way, especially with a child on the way. But she had no money, no support, and no idea where to start. She reached out for her phone and hesitated before dialing Sheun's number. It has been a year since she had spoken to him, and she wasn't even sure he would answer. The phone rang severally, but he didn't pick up. The next morning, a memory surfaced. She remembered the conversation she had had with that woman a few weeks ago. The woman had hinted that there were others like her, women Pastor Jide had manipulated and silenced. If she couldn't escape, At least she could stop him from hurting others. Busayo had initially done a few investigations and had gotten some of their numbers. That morning, she dialed one number. The voice on the other end was cautious. "Hello, this is Busayo," she said hesitantly. "We need to talk." "It's about Pastor Jide," she said. "I heard he deceived you." There was silence before the woman responded, her voice trembling. "Yes, he deceived me too," Busayo said. "You too? Oh my God! I thought I was the only one." They exchanged their stories on the phone, and the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. Over the next few days, Busayo and her agreed to reach out to more of the woman. Each one of them confirmed Pastor Jide's manipulative tactics. Finally, they all agreed to meet at a quiet restaurant. "We can't let him get away with this," one woman said, slamming her hand on the table. "But how do we expose him? He's powerful and his congregation worships him like a god," another woman said nervously. Busayo clenched her fist. "We will gather everything we have, messages, pictures, recordings, and post it online. People need to know who Pastor Jide really is. He may already be targeting his next victim." As they were talking, one of the women screamed as she looked at her phone. See what I'm seeing. Prominent pastor arrested for money laundering. Pastor Jide has been arrested." Busayo stared at the phone in disbelief, the headline glaring back at her. "Serves him right," she muttered. But as the scandal spread, Busayo and the other women decided to go public with their stories too, ensuring Pastor Jide's complete disgrace. Months later, life became increasingly difficult for Busayo. With Pastor Jide now in prison, her means of support disappeared. Alone and desperate, she decided to return to her family, praying they might take her back. Busayo stood at the gate of her former home, clutching her bag tightly. The weight of her protruding belly reminded her of everything she had lost. With a deep breath, she pushed the gate open. She knocked at the door, uncertain about how Sheun will react. When Sheun opened the door, he looked at her in surprise. "Busayo!" Her voice cracked as she replied, "Sheun, I'm so sorry." His eyes dropped to her swollen belly and his lips curled into a bitter laugh. "You're pregnant?" "Yes," she whispered. "I was wrong, Sheun. I was deceived. But I let it happen. I let you and my kids down. I don't expect you to take me back. But I need you in my life, so Sheun, I'm so sorry." Sheun leaned against the doorframe, his tone calm but firm. "Do you know what you put us through, Busayo? The kids cried every night, wondering why their mom left. I had to be there every time, while dealing with my own pain. It wasn't easy." Tears streamed down her face. "I never stopped loving you or the kids. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I was wrong. Please, forgive me." Before he could respond, a soft voice called from inside. "Sheun, is everything okay?" Busayo froze as a heavily pregnant woman appeared beside him, resting her hand on her belly. "This is Enkay," Sheun said, his voice steady but not unkind. "We're expecting our first child together." Busayo swallowed the lump in her throat. I didn't know." Sheun nodded. "I've moved on, Busayo. I had to. But I've forgiven you because I needed peace for myself and the kids." He stepped inside and returned with an envelope. "I saw the news about Pastor Jide. I figured you might come back. But there's no room here anymore. Take this. Use it to start a new life for yourself and your baby." Busayo hesitated, her pride worrying her desperation. Finally, she accepted the envelope. "Thank you so much, Sheun, and I'm sorry for everything." With the money Sheun gave her, Busayo relocated to a small town where she could rebuild her life. She found a small, affordable apartment and applied for a teaching position at the local school. Working with children brought her unexpected joy. Their innocent laughter reminded her that life still held beauty, even after so much pain. Busayo also became an advocate for victims of spiritual manipulation. She shared her story on social media and spoke at community events, warning others about the dangers of blind faith in charismatic leaders. The end. Wow, what a wonderful journey it has been. It reminds us of the importance of discernment, the ability to see beyond the surface and trust our inner wisdom. In life, not everything that glitters is gold, and the true path to peace and fulfillment comes when we listen to our intuition. Never let yourself be blinded by sweet words or false promises. Always seek the truth and trust your instincts. So I want to ask you, have you experienced a moment like Busayo where you followed someone's advice or guidance only to realize later that you should have trusted your own judgment? How did you find the strength to trust yourself and make a change? I would like you to share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story and lessons it brought to your life, don't forget to hit the like button, share it with others, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel for more captivating stories that inspire, teach, and entertain. Your support means the world to us, and we can't wait to bring you more amazing content. Till we come your way next time, take care and keep trusting your inner wisdom. See you in the next story. Bye.